All right, so as I'm standing in between your coffee break, I'm going to try to make it worth your while. My name is Daniela Schiffer. Together with Markus Schulz, I have founded a company, Changers.com, which I would like to introduce to you today. When looking to a couple of reports from Munich Re, one of the biggest threats we are facing as a society in terms of economical, but also other terms, one, of course, climate change, but the second one actually is exploding healthcare costs. And, well, being the humble startup we are, we actually want to try and find a solution where we address both of these issues. So eventually we're going to have our hands full. The issue is that we have there's going to be a technological baseline or technological progress that is for sure going to help in order to address these issues. No problem, this is going to be the baseline. There's also going to be communications and educations around these topics. This is also going to help. But at the end, we have to come to a point where we all will have to change our behaviors. And the question we are addressing is how do we actually achieve this? Because we are living in kind of like this weird situation where in 30 years, none of us will be able to tell their grandchildren that we didn't know what was going on, and that we're not to blame, and that it's not our fault. It's not about pointing fingers or blaming people. What we are looking, or what we are trying to do is, what kind of incentives can we find? What kind of tools can we develop in order to actually create this short-term incentives in order to change or help people changing their behavior? So a little introduction, what are we doing precisely? We have developed a mobile application that we license to companies as a service, as a system tool. They use it to incentivize the users on the one side to motivate their employees to move in a more sustainable way, maybe leave the car at home and cycle to work or use public transport on the one side, and on the other side we are also addressing corporate wellness issues that are incentivizing and motivating employees to do more sports, to take care of their nutrition, mental health, etc. So we are kind of like trying to build this one tool which is easy to use, which is actually also nice to where we give information to users and which sort of brings this kind of gamification point on the one side, the building up challenges, and a short-term incentivization, which can be very different with the companies. One topic what I was already saying is sustainable mobility. So we have and are in the background developing continuously an algorithm and methodology to identify mobility patterns. So cycling, walking is pretty simple, but what we're working on right now is also to identify and be able to see whether somebody is sitting in a car or in a bus or in a train. And I think with this we are also generating some valuable data sets on terms of how do actually mobility patterns also work in cities. On the one side for cities and communities, but also for companies. So we have a couple of customers that are actually interested in learning more about the not bound CO2 emissions they have with the workforce going to work. Second topic is nutrition. This is basically the healthcare entries. This is a manual entry, and also there we're working on systems. How can we actually verify these data points? Gamification, I've already addressed it. So how do you actually make it fun on the one side? I think making it playful and fun is one of the biggest incentives. People like to game, but also offer short-term incentives. This can be either, we have companies that plant trees for every 100 kilometers cycled, or we have donation cyclings going on, or it can actually just be the iTunes card you get for whatever you're doing. Okay, well, I was just one slide ahead. This is the slide that my clients love. So why do companies work with us? In essence, because we save them money. Because we help them to reduce their healthcare costs, we help them to reduce recruiting costs. It is about employer branding, it is about increasing productivity. It also comes down to sustainability issues, digitizing or helping them to digitize on the one side the CSR department and the corporate healthcare department. but the center point is cost reduction. Business model, very quickly, as already said it, so we are licensing software to companies, which is easy to implement. There is no pain point in terms of having to talk to technicians, etc. Right now, customer acquisitions is focused on cold calls, outbound, mostly focusing on large international corporations, so 10K employees plus. And in the future, we are already preparing and building a multi-admin user tool where companies can just come to our website, set up their own challenge, and just are ready to go and actually don't have to even talk to me. So this is, for us, the easiest way to actually scale this product and be on an international basis. You can already see we already have a couple of quite interesting clients for being the first months in the, so basically month of April was the first month this year that we started challenges with our companies, with our clients. So we have amongst them EY, DB Schenker, H&M, IKEA. So we are, I would say we have reasonable interest from big corporations. I can also announce here on stage that RWE is one of our clients, or will be one of our clients. So yeah, we are setting up our next financial round, as many on the stage I have already announced. Planning to close this autumn, so happy to talk to you afterwards. Thank you very much.